Hey there, it's George Ira Carroll, and Happy New Year. It's early into the year of 2012, and if you're an entrepreneur, then you know there's a lot of buzz around. There's a lot of momentum that's happening that seems to be showing up for a lot of people. So I was reflecting towards the end of last year in December, I was reflecting back on what was it that made 2011 the best year of my life. And as I sort of sunk into that question, some of the patterns and some of the answers started to show up. And so I thought, well, why don't I create something for you entrepreneurs for 2012 that can give you some insight on how to make 2012 your best year yet. 2011, I was able to more than double my business, and I jumped over the six-figure mark. And I don't say it to impress you, but to infuse into your mind what's possible when you really harness the power of your mind. You know, Anthony Robbins always says that success is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. And the first key is to get grateful. To get grateful. You know, gratitude is sort of that bridge that allows us to feel rich right now in this moment. And as you look around, you can find things to focus on to be grateful for. Know this, that your state of being is your point of attraction and it's your point of action. Meaning, how you feel in any moment is determining what you're attracting into your world and also the actions that you're taking. Most people walk around in a fear or stress response, and they play defense with their finances, they play defense with their business, trying to keep things alive, and they're operating from a scarcity or a lack mentality, operating from a survival state of being versus getting just really grateful about what's going on in life and operating from a state of fullness, from a state of appreciation, from a state of gratitude. Step 2 is getting a clear vision for what you want to create in 2012. You see, most people are at the effect to life. Right? They're responding to what life brings them versus being at cause, versus being a force for good in the world and going out and creating the results that they desire. Big part of that is because most people don't even know what they want. The late and great Jim Rohn once said, most people don't get what they want because they don't know what they want. I recently facilitated a vision board celebration where a bunch of entrepreneurs and people came in, and we created our own visions of what we wanted to create and generate in 2012. One of the first things that I put on that board was a new space to live in. So I placed these images of this place in Cherry Creek called The Seasons. And it's like 2 blocks away from Cherry Creek Mall. It's an awesome place. And as I was visualizing and feeling into it, one day I just sort of had an impulse to go visit the place off a whim. I scheduled a tour that same day, and one day later, after going in and feeling the place and really getting those images in my mind, the next day I decided to sign the lease, because a dream without action will always remain a possibility. You see, the mind doesn't know the difference between something that we vividly imagine in our mind and something that we actually experience. So when we imagine, when we visualize what we want to create and generate in our lives, our minds literally begin to go to work to find out how we can produce that result. Just like I had that impulse to go visit the apartment complex in Cherry Creek, those impulses will show up more often because there's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. This part of your brain keeps an eye out for whatever it is in your dominant focus. So for example, when you buy a new car, you tend to see them everywhere you go. It's interesting, isn't it? So when you have an image or a vision that you're going after, that you're imagining in your mind, that you're seeing, your brain is going to be trained or programmed to look for those people, those experiences, those situations, the events, the resources, the books, the seminars, the coaching, whatever's necessary for you to get to that goal. This piece of equipment between our ears is probably the most powerful, most sophisticated piece of intelligence ever created, but we weren't born with a user's manual. And by having a destination, by getting clear on the vision that you want to create for 2012, will get you so laser focused that you'll know which activities are moving you toward your vision and which activities are moving you away from, and it's an important distinction. Step number 3 is get uncomfortable. Most people avoid being uncomfortable because, well, number one, our brains are designed to move away from pain and move towards pleasure. That feeling of uncomfortableness, when we label it in our mind of, this is something that is uncomfortable and I should avoid, then we move away from it. versus being conscious with what that uncomfortableness is. And what that uncomfortableness really is it's a state of growth. A lot of times when we're stressed or when we're uncomfortable, when there's tension in our life, what we don't realize is that in that moment we're actually growing. So what if you, moving forward now, decided that any time that you were uncomfortable, you replaced it with, oh, I must be growing? And how cool would that be? So try that on and get uncomfortable. Make those phone calls, hire that coach, go to that seminar, write that book, do the activities that make you uncomfortable. And at the end of the year, you'll look back and you'll have grown tremendously. Step number 4 is get modeling. And I'm not talking about the runway. I'm talking about finding somebody in your industry who is achieving the results that you'd like to accomplish, that you would like to achieve. Surely there's somebody who is producing outstanding results in your field. So whoever that is, study them. Get to know what they believe, get to know what they value, get to know what they do on a daily basis, get to know what they read, get to know who they study, get to know them. Really immerse yourself in their videos and their blogs and their anything that you can get your hands on that will help you understand more of who they are. But in the realm of personal development, in the realm of growing your business, it's not what you do every now and again that makes the difference. It's what you do consistently. And that consistency over time is what produces results. Key number 5 to thriving in 2012 is investing in yourself. As I look back and I started finalizing my finances, I realized that I spent just over $20,000 in personal development, in coaching, in seminars, in books, in therapy, in energy healing, and that number kind of surprised me. And I knew it was going to be pretty high, but it really surprised me, and at the same time, it was worth every penny. All the growth that I've received from getting coaching, all the growth that I've received from all the books and seminars, they all played into the results that I was able to create this year. So when you invest in yourself, you increase your value. Your value grows as an entrepreneur, whatever your industry is. And as you increase your own value, guess what the natural side effects of that is going to be? It's going to be income, just as a natural result of it. And again, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like a light switch. It's more like the sun rising. It's a gradual, consistent movement that will get you toward what you want. So investing in yourself is one of the most powerful ways that you can now begin to grow and make 2012 the year that you thrive. I want to challenge you right now. I want to challenge you to find a mentor and find a coach. Now, I've heard a bunch of stories where people have hired coaches and didn't get good results. And a lot of times that happens because people price shop when it comes to coaching. And coaching is not something you want to price shop for. In fact, you almost want to do the opposite. It's like if you're going to the dentist, it's not something that you want to price shop for, is it? And so you want to go to the best. And how you figure that out is, what are the results that coach is producing for himself or herself? And coaching is one of the most powerful things that I did in 2012 or 2011 to help me thrive. I kept hitting this ceiling of about $5,000 in a month. And finally, I hired a coach, and about 3 months later, my business tripled. And that's what coaching will help you do. It'll help you raise your own standards. I want to give you an offer. It's the beginning of the year, and I want to have an opportunity to work with you if I haven't already. And I've developed something called the coaching consultation. So if you and I have never worked together, this is your opportunity. Basically, it's the balance between a coaching session and a consultation, where we'll get a clear view and a clear vision of where you're going. We'll also take a look at what roadblocks are in the way of you getting it, and then we'll create some strategies so that when you leave there, if that's the last time I see you, you'll have some action steps to take so you can create some momentum towards your goals. And so I want to give you this gift if you'll go ahead and take advantage of it now. It's only $47. So if you're watching this video, email me or call me. I'll place the information here, and find a way to make that investment in yourself. Find a way to get some coaching, get some mentoring so you can achieve the results that you deserve. All right, take action now. All right, so those are your 5 keys to thrive in 2012. Remember, if you don't apply it, you don't know. So if you're ready to unleash your badass, get in touch with me now, and I look forward to chatting with you real soon. Take care, God bless, and thrive in 2012.